Hello guys, welcome back to Mr. Cloudbook channel. Today is the day 14 of the Kubernetes masterclass, and in this video I am going to explain about labels and selectors, which is pretty important for our deployments and replica sets and replication controller in the upcoming videos. These play important role in your Kubernetes objects. Okay, so that's why we are going to learn about the labels and selectors. Labels and selectors. So first I will talk about the labels here. So I will explain in detailed way. So just listen to the class. This is simple one. So labels in Kubernetes are the key value pairs, okay, that are attached to objects like pods or services and deployments and other resources. They are used to organize and categorize and identify Kubernetes objects in a meaningful and effective way. So these are the mainly key value pairs. Okay, so why we have to use? So because to identify. So that is the one we need to see. So we need to identify the Kubernetes objects easily and in a meaningful way and effective way. That's why we need to use the Kubernetes labels. Okay. So let me explain a real-time example because everyone will understand very properly. Here I have the supermarket. Let's see. This is the market, or we can call it as anything. I don't know. We can call it as anything like supermarket or like this is the kitchen. Think like home kitchen or anything. So here what I will do is I will just create some simple objects here. So this is the one object, and okay, think like this is at the market or the kitchen in your home. So here this is one Horlicks bottle and this is the other one, this is third one, and you have so many Horlicks bottles or Boost bottles in your home, so that are used for the your kids or anyone. So what we will do, our mother will keep in one bottle she will keep the sugar, and another one it she keeps the salt, chili powder, and coriander powder and everything. So all bottles are same here, okay? Because we don't have any labels on that particular one. So if you have any label on this particular one, you can easily find it. This is sugar and this is salt like that. But here what happens? So we don't have any particular kind of labels here. We are every item is mixed here. So we don't know this is sugar, this is salt like that. So we don't know the actual product, okay? So we can't find that product easily. So you will again get scolded by your mother again. Okay. So don't know which items are where stored, like where you kept the sugar and where you kept the salt in your kitchen. Okay. What I will do is I will add here some. So you can see that there are no labels here. So if your mom asks you to bring some sugar, so you don't know where it's there in your which bottle it's there, and like because there are no labels. Okay, so this is how you will fail in the Kubernetes also. Don't add any labels into your Kubernetes pods or deployments. It's very hard to find. Okay, so every item is mixed up, and in the real life you will use so many pods, right? So we don't know which pod belongs to which. I mean, like we don't know this that pod belongs to production, this that pod belongs to development, staging environment, or QA environment. We don't know anything without any labels, right? So here I have the other way. See, if I am able to use the labels in my kitchen or in the market, what I will do is, so I will add one label onto the each bottle. So on first bottle, I will add sugar, second bottle salt, chili powder, chicken masala, and oil and Horlicks. Okay. So with the labels, what I can do is, if someone asks me to give me, I mean, like my mother asked me to bring some sugar from the kitchen. Okay. What I will do is, I will go to kitchen and I'll bring this first bottle and give it to my mother. Okay. So which is easy to find. Okay, so here if you don't add any labels, it's very hard to find. Okay, that's why what we have to do is we have to add labels to your Kubernetes objects, because which is very easy to identify the Kubernetes objects in a meaningful and effective way. That's why we need to add the labels in your Kubernetes, definitely. Okay, so this is the simple command, and how this works in Kubernetes. Okay, without labels and with labels, what I'll do, I'll just go here. Okay, and day 14, labels and selectors. I'll use without labels. I'll just create one simple pod file, or I can just copy it from here. Okay, what I'll use is I will just run the command kubectl run nginx. So simple commands everyone know, right? Yesterday's video, if you watch the yesterday's video, this is pretty easy for imperative command. And image equals to nginx. Okay, hyphen try hyphen run equals to client hyphen o means output YAML format, enter. So I got this one. I will do, I'll just copy it from here, right click, copy it, and I'll paste it here. So what I will do, remove this, we don't need this. Okay, this is also not needed. Okay, so you can write two nodes, I mean like two pods in the same pod.yaml file using these three dots. Okay, the same thing, you can copy it and paste it here. So what I'll do is I'll just use the nginx here. Oh, sorry, this is pod. We don't need to change that. But here I will change the name, okay, to nginx one. Okay, let me remove the labels because we are explaining here without labels. Okay, and you can see that nginx one and nginx two. What I will do, I'll just copy it without labels. I'm going to use vi. Let's call it as a day 14. Let's mkdir 14 dot select 14 cd 14. Let's see whether it's working or not. Groups utl get pods. Okay, let's see vi. What I'll do, I'll just create one file, one.yaml maybe without yamls. Okay, so here there are no labels to a particular pod. Okay, so what I'll do is I will use kubectl create hyphen f one.yaml. So this is simple command. You can either use apply or create, but I will explain the difference between create and apply in the upcoming videos. Okay, so let's see the running pods. Okay, kubectl get pods. Okay, see, I want to know this nginx is the main image which is running on the production. Think like that, and nginx one is the another image. I mean, another pod which is running on the uh, in dev environment. So I don't know which one is that, and because I don't have any labels attached to that one. If I say kubectl get nodes hyphen show hyphen labels here. Okay, you can see that I don't have any labels here on this one. Okay, I was confused which pod to remove. Okay, so what happens here? So if you remove your production machine or production pod, what it will do? It will crash your application. Okay, so that's why the use of the labels is very important here. See, using app front end environment is equals to production, like that. Well, what I'll do is I will create another file here. Okay, so with labels, with with hyphen labels dot yaml. So we can usually use that one. Okay, let's copy the old one only and paste it here. So these are simple. Okay, that what I'll do is I will use the labels. Okay, inside labels, come after two space app. So which app it is? So you can call it as the front end simply, and env. So you can call it as the production one. Okay, let's change some names. I want to make it two because we have already one and two are running there. So let's make it to three. Then what I will do is I will just copy it and I'll paste it here simply. And this is dev environment. Okay, so here I have some labels, right? Let's copy it. vi 2.yaml. What I'll do, I'll come out of it and just apply it. kubectl apply hyphen f 2.yaml. So here it will create the two pods now. Okay, let's see the running pods. kubectl get pods, and you can see that now we have four pods running with the same nginx image, and two doesn't have any labels. But here if you try to use say labels, so you can see that we are getting labels for the newly created pods. Okay, because we added the labels. Okay, so what I will do is I will just use kubectl get pods hyphen label l hyphen l equals to env equals to production. I want the production node. Okay, if I try to enter, it will give the production label. I mean like on which pod this particular label is there. Okay, hyphen l I means label which is equals to env is equals to production. So I want that particular pod. Okay, if I want to search for the dev environment pod, I can give kubectl get pods hyphen l environment is equals to dev. So which is pretty easy. Okay, So if I want to delete it, what I can do is I can just run this one. I want to delete the dev environment pod. Okay, what I will do is I will just use this. So here I will get easily. So I will do just copy it, and I can use kubectl delete pod hyphen. You can just give the name and hyphen force. Okay, and you can see that it's deleted. If you try to see it again, there are no resources found because we already deleted that pod which is having label environment is equals to development. Okay, here labels are very important because which is very easy to identify, and in order to call your like your pods and replication sets in the upcoming videos, we have to use these some labels and label selectors, and I will explain about the selectors also. That's why here, if you want to know more about the labels, here you can come here and you can see that what are the recommended labels we can use. So these are the recommended labels, and if you don't know where this label coming from, and you can again come here. So because we have so many labels here, kubectl get nodes so labels. Okay, and you can see that on every node there are some labels attached here. You can see that this is the label section. Okay, so these are the labels here. You can see that beta Kubernetes version equals to AMD 64, like that. Here also there is an app like app.kubernetes.io.name, like that. So if you want to see more, kubectl get nodes. So give the nodes and let's check one control plane. So this is the one. What I'll do, I'll just copy it. Okay, kubectl describe node and give that node name. Okay, and if you come up here and you can see the labels attached to that particular node. Okay. So you can add like this kubectl pod get pods. So here I don't have any labels, right? Let's add hyphen labels. Okay. So what I can do is I can use this doesn't have any label, right? What I'll do is kubectl label help. Let's see, is there in a way? Okay, we can have here. You can say that you can use this command kubectl label pods and give that pod name, and you can write anything. Okay, let me do it. So kubectl label pod nginx. I want to give the label to nginx pod. So what is that? env equals to staging. Okay, enter. So pod nginx is labeled. You can see that now. Okay. So let's run again. kubectl get pods hyphen labels. So these are the commands. Okay, you can see that now this pod is attached to a one label. Okay, so not only that label we can add. Okay, kubectl get nodes here. Okay, we can add the labels to anything. Okay, this control plane what I will do is I will just use it kubectl label node. I'll use this, paste it, and you can call it as the it is equals to control master, like that. Okay, enter, and you can see that it's labeled. Okay, if you see kubectl describe node and then what is the node name, this one, enter, and if you go inside you can see it properly. Okay, here see, this is the node, label that I attached now. Okay, I clear the screen. What I have to do is now I have to explain about the label and selectors, right? So here you can use like this also metadata labels. You can add any labels also. Okay, remember that here I added one label, right? Production, and you can use like this one version to 1.14 or 24, like that. We and you can write anything. Okay, which team is managing, like that team. So admin team should maintain this. Okay, like that you can add any labels here. Okay, so here only team equals to dev team. Okay, like that you can add any labels. Okay, remember that one. And what I have to do is we can see so many simple examples here and just read it from here. These are simple one, easily understandable, all the things about the labels. Okay, recommended labels, these are the ones. And you can come to here also labels and selectors. So here you can see that labels key equals to list and value this one like that. It should be like that. And yesterday I forgot to show if I want to run one container. So kubectl run nginx 5 fn image equals to nginx. So what I showed yesterday dry run client. Okay, hyphen o ml format I showed, right? Okay, so if you want to JSON format, you can just add JSON here and enter. So this is the JSON format for your pod. Okay, so just remember this one also. Okay, so if in the exam they will ask, you have to just change the YAML to JSON. Okay, let's talk about the label selectors here. So think of the selectors as a way to filter or the select objects based on their labels. Okay, so we talked about the labels because label selectors is based on the labels. That's why we need to understand the label selectors also. Think of the selectors as a way to filter. Okay, remember that label selectors is used to filter or the select objects based on their labels. Okay, so there are two types of selectors here we have. So which is equity based selector. So equity based selector means this finds the resources where environment is equals to production. Okay, so it will only finds the where environment equals to production, and we have some operators. So this equity based selector only support these three. Okay, equals to, double equals to, and not equals to. Okay, and you can call it as like that because this is simple one, mostly no one is uses. Equality or inequality based on requirements allow filtering by label keys and values. Matching objects must satisfy. Okay, so if environment is equals to production, that pod should definitely match this value. Okay, equality based. Okay, it should definitely match that particular object. Okay, must satisfy the all the specified labels constraints or any value that we provided in that. Okay, so three kinds of operators: equals to, double equals to, and not equals to. You can read this one. Okay, and you can see that this is a simple example you can use. And here we have the set based selectors. Okay, so here set based selectors. Okay, set based requirement, these are the set based selectors. Label requirement allows filtering keys according to set of values. Okay, here we can call one value, but here we can call it the multiple values. Okay, here we can use different kinds of operators: in, not in, exits, like that. Here you can see that properly. Okay, so select operators I will explain in a simple way. So find resources where environment is either production or in the staging. Okay, so you can see that it will bring the labels either, I mean, production pod or in the QA pod. Okay, you can see that environment in means, so if environment is production or QA, give me that particular pods. Okay, so here equality based, here it only calls the single one. Okay, ENR equals to production one, like that. And we have the other one, not in, right? Not in, value must not be in the values specified in the list. Okay, so you can call operator not in means. Okay, here there is another example because I will explain this well. Tear not in. Tear not in means if it's in the front end or in the back end, it does not print. It does not call that particular label. It will only call the label which is having a database tear. Okay, so that's you can use this particular operator not in. Okay, so there is another one, exist. Key must exist. Okay, so value does not matter. Key must exist. Okay, so anything doesn't matter. Okay, so here what I can call, here the key equals to name. Okay, app equals to anything you can call like that. Okay, here see here app equals to front end. Okay, and env equals to production. Okay, so exist means if it doesn't take care think about the value, it will only checks the this one key. Okay, this key environment, that is the only thing it will check, exist operator. Okay, so we can call the real world examples also. We can simply find the environments using the kubectl get pods environment equal to production or pair equals to front end. So I will show some examples here using this one. What I'll do is I'll just copy it. I'll just here. Let's delete. some old pods. kubectl get pods. Okay, kubectl delete pod. So we can delete busybox3, nginx. Okay, nginx1, nginx, sorry, nginx2, force. Okay, I don't want this. I'll just remove this forcefully. Okay, let's see the pods. kubectl get pods. Now, here we don't have anything. Let's see 3.yaml, and I used so many things here. Okay, like nginx2, 3, like that. So many environment variables and values I added. So kubectl apply -f 3.yaml, enter. Okay, so it's created. Let's see kubectl get pods. Okay, make sure these are running. Okay, so what I will use so labels. Okay, and you can see that here I have so many, right? Here version or anything, you can write as many as labels to your pods or objects. Okay, so what I will do is I will use the in operator. Okay, so what I will do is kubectl get pods label selectors. This is example -l. What I will use is environment env in, so brackets, production prod or dev. We have only two, right? Okay, that is fine, that is fine. So because we just want to show the example. Okay, enter, and you can see that it prints the values. Okay, and you can see that kubectl get pods, so env either, so I want the production mission, either the dev mission I want. Okay, so if I give here in staging, okay, see, we don't get anything because there is no staging label attached to anything here. Okay, right? So what I'll do, let's create one more here. Let's take it as the 4 and take it as 5. And what I'll do is I will just use the staging here. Okay, and I'll just use the this one as the backend, a simple learning purpose, and let me change it to backend. Okay, okay, I'll copy it vi 4.yaml, paste it and come out of it. Okay, what I'll do, I'll just use up arrow. Okay, here 4.yaml, I just change this. Okay, we have so many labels now. So kubectl get pods, we will directly use so labels. Okay, and you can see that we have so many things. What I will use now, if I use this one kubectl get pods -l label or the selector, this one env in the staging, it will print 1 because we have one label which is having the staging environment. Okay, so here what I will use, I will use not in. Okay, we should check that commands also because we have to check which one we are using because there are different one. Okay, okay, not in, it should be sometimes capital like that, that's why I'm saying. So check all those things. Okay, you can see that not in. Okay, it won't print the staging environment pod, but it will print the remaining all. Okay, you can see that it's ignoring this nginx 4, but it's printing 2, 3, 5 because it does not have any staging. Okay, this is how label selector will work. So this is how you can use the label selectors also. So in the upcoming videos, we will learn more about the replication set and replication controller because these labels and label selectors we will use there definitely. That's why I explained this in this class. I hope you understand video. Thanks for watching the video and keep on supporting to Mr. Cloudbook channel.